Hey guys, Lucasbuffalo here, doing a Warhammer 40,000 painting tutorial today. We're going to be going over the Army Painter method, but with a few modifications that I personally do to it that give me results a lot quicker than most people experience. I mean, I can say that I'm done in record speed basically, and yeah, it's pretty great. So to start off with, you're going to use Army Painter colored primer. This is purple, and we're painting Grey Knights, so don't use this one, or else you're wrong. Use silver. Silver is good. That's what I used. So you're gonna, I mean, that's not hard. I'm not gonna really walk through that. You with the silver, and you get something that looks a little bit like this. Great, awesome. If you miss any spots, you can go over it real quick with plate mail metal, and you're good to go. You're ready to proceed. So we're gonna get a wash, preferably dark tone. You can use another wash if you're more experienced, but dark tone's great if you don't have any clue what you're doing. So what you're gonna wanna do is just get the model, get a brush like this. I use the Regiment, but it'd probably be better if you had an even bigger brush. And there's a pretty precise technique here for how you wanna wash the model. You're gonna want to approach and just do that. Something a little bit like that. Just and make sure you're getting globs of it on your brush, and just do that. It doesn't matter. It's a wash. You have to be a complete moron to not be able to succeed with a wash. And you'll get something that looks a little bit like this. So as you can tell, I didn't succeed with the wash, but it looks okay enough. So we'll run with it. It's all right. You know, nothing too terrible. Has some decent shadows actually. I'm being a little critical of myself here. From there, we're going to work on detailing, and detailing is really where my method branches off from the traditional Army Painter method. So to start with, for these guys, I'm going to use a Toxic Mist color. And what you're going to want to do is don't thin that down at all. Just glop it on that blade, just completely smearing it on there. You'll see that there's globs and a complete lack of detail. And that's really what we're going for. Because once you do that, you can panic and wonder if it's you or the paint that has failed. So you can get your next model going. And on this one, you're going to want to do the exact same thing. Don't thin it down enough, make really streaky strokes, and just go across the blade real poorly, and it'll look real shoddy. And so from there you can go, well, maybe it's just this paint. So you're going to want to do red. And as you can see, you can grab a nice dragon red or a chaotic red, or maybe even some abomination gore. And what you're going to want to do is don't thin that down enough either, and just glob it on to some random spots in the model that you might be okay with being red. What that's going to do is sink into the recesses of the detail without actually covering the part that you wanted red the most. And yeah, the great part is you're done now. So what you're going to want to do is just assemble everything that you've tried to paint so far into the middle of your work area, and you're done. It'll every time you look at what you've done so far, you'll be reminded of what a failure you are, and you won't want to work on it anymore. So congratulations, you're done. For those of you who typically persevere or push past your initial mistakes to, you know, advance or get better at techniques and, you know, get better at painting in general, what you're going to want to do is get a model painted by someone who actually knows what they're doing, someone who's a real expert, maybe a friend, or, you know, buy one online that's done extremely well. And you're going to want to just set that right next to everything that you've been working on to remind yourself that you're trash, everything you touch turns into trash, and that there's really no point in you trying to get any better. And yeah, you're done. You can now move on to looking at your 200 plus games in Steam that you've never played before, and continuing to not play any of them. Maybe log into an MMO that you haven't played in 2 years, play for a week, and then remember why you quit. Really, the world's your oyster because you're done painting this army already. Hopefully this technique and this method was useful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Thanks a lot and have a good one.